Here Rick stopped and rose his head like Rose proudly. There was no reply from his friends for some seconds, but after it was Osun who spoke. "Oh, so the creature was on top of the tree under which the little girl hunted treasure?" Russ said. "Duh! That was obvious. I can't believe you caught it now." "Well, I understood it from the mirror at once, but wanted to show that I understood by questioning. You know how I am," said he, and sipped some wine from his goblet. "Very poor in imagination and grammar," spoke up Usto, who was sitting opposite to Rick. Before Rick made a reply, he added, "Although I have to admit that there is something profound in it, whether you intended it or not." Shed nodded his head with protruded lower lip. Rick laughed and said, "Bryant, I always meant what I say. My last girlfriend, who, by the way, smelt like old books, talked to me of philosophy and nutriology." Then Rick lit his Winston again and started blowing smoky circles from his mouth joyfully. There was thoughtless silence, like after prayer, in which Shed looked at Usto, and Usto looked at Osun, who was refilling his goblet with wine. Miss Intuition told Osun that he ought to be next, so he said, "Well, gentlemen, I will go next," and placed his wine on the table and rubbed his hands to each other to boost his electricity. Then he started. "After a long sleep, an ant came out of its hole, yawning and stretching his rested body in a beautiful sunny morning." "Ah, Osun, I don't think that ants sleep," stammered Rick, worrying. Osun, who was very much red in face, which was due to too much wine and beer, not embarrassment, hushed Rick by saying, "This is my part. In my story, anything can be anything. Beside, who told you that ants don't sleep?" There was not reply from anyone. They were all too comfortable to reply. The fire was dancing and singing, and the wine brought the spirits of merriment, and the stories were to tickle their imaginations. Osun went on.